Hey everybody, hope your day's going well. We are back with the warning. We got vlog 26 to finish off this incredible journey that was Queen of the Murder Scene. What an amazing album. I talked about it in the last video. What an incredible, an amazing achievement for these girls who are very young at the time they've written it. It's mind-blowing. Let's jump into this because I see it's 21 minutes. So without further ado, let's let's hear their thoughts. I'm so interested in hearing this.
Hey everybody!
Hello guys!
And welcome to the vlog of chapter 4, which we didn't record that day. But
yeah, they said they was gonna do that.
we're doing it now, which is a good thing. Okay,
I get it.
So
I get
chapter 4 starts with Psychotic.
Which is, it's without the I am. Okay, so the song is Psychotic for short. Let's just say Psychotic.
Yeah.
It is basically like my favorite song lyrically.
Chapter 4 is
of the
like...
album. Chapter 4 is my favorite album. My favorite album, my favorite chapter. Sorry.
Yes.
It's my favorite
That's great.
chapter, and that song specifically, the lyrics, it's so good. I remember I wrote the chorus about 2 years ago. I remember you were going out with a friend, and I was in the car, and I showed you and mom that chorus, and you were like, "Oh my god, it's so cool!" And I was so excited about it, but I just left it there because it was just like when I was beginning to start like the concept, and so I just left it there. So basically, Psychotic is a mix of 3 different songs I had because the verses that I have for the original Psychotic, they were horrible. They were literally absolutely horrifying.
But the melody was good.
The melody was good.
We could still use it.
But the lyrics were really bad. And I remember that I made another song with the same concept. Link. No. I had another song like for the same concept that I did 2 years ago too. And 2 years ago too. I just recorded it on my phone. And
my brain works almost exactly the same way. That's how I would comment on that same thing. Like 2 years ago too. Yeah. That is so quick. We are kindred spirits, man.
I just recorded it on my phone. And I just left it there. So when I didn't have a verse for Psychotic, I started looking at my voice memos, which is like such a drag because I have like over 500 voice memos. And I don't know why I do this. It's really a horrible habit. But I never named the voice memos. It only says like new recording 200.
Oh, yes. I always...
Oh, well, even more. I know, that's organizing your notes and your stuff. I'm really I'm bad in that too, but I don't use voice notes, which is it's maybe now I could change it because now you can easily transcribe it to text. But voice notes are easy to record, right? You grab your phone, blah blah blah, stream of consciousness is there, but then to sift through it, especially when you hadn't named them, you have to listen to the voice note, and that takes time if you want to just hear one sentence or something, or just looking for a certain specific line. And when you've written it down, which takes longer the first time, you can use your search function. Also, you can skim it, which is way faster than listening to maybe a 1 minute voice recording or 2 minute voice recording. You don't need 2 minutes to read that text. You can just glance. Okay, that's not it. That's not it. Now, of course, with the new technology, maybe I should think about that, is just recording it and then transcribing it with the tools there that are available, and then you can use the search function. But yeah, that's I understand that organizing notes and things. Your mind is so chaotic. CHAOTA. Yeah, man, I get it. Organizing that stuff, I'm so bad at it too.
It only says like new recording 200.
Oh yes, I always title my voice memos so that won't happen.
So.
Oh, see, that's the difference.
A lot of names. I was just like listening through everyone, and then I found cause the blood that I bleeding is no longer red. It was in G though. And
yeah, we changed.
Yeah, we changed it. Yeah, it was too high.
Too high.
And and it just fit perfectly. I had all the first verse done already, and then when I found like that voice memo, I just started working on the second verse immediately. The second verse is my favorite verse. My favorite line of the whole song, it's the be proud of your pride and the things that you hide. Oh, that is be proud of your pride.
Sounds great.
I'm so proud of that. It's yes, even I have to say it's really good. I just really like the whole song lyrically.
Yeah, it's very cool, and it's super fun to play.
It's one of the funnest songs to play.
Although it's one of the most
Fast.
tiring ones.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
at least for me.
Yeah, the PSYCHOTICs are awful because like she does the low notes, but I do like
I
PS
do
live,
PSY.
and it's really like hard to
Oh,
do live.
yes.
With like when we did Lunario, like it was one of the last songs, and I was like dying,
Me too.
and that
was-
part was like oh,
Especially, I mean, since the song is very lyrically packed, you don't have time
Yes.
to breathe.
Yeah. I believe I said that in reaction. I can't really remember. But that song, the pace and really the sings like da 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 da. You know, there's I can imagine, especially considering now when it is, you know, in the concert, it's almost at the end. So, and that concert was also at a pretty high altitude, right? It's just mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
No.
You have
Oh,
like to
time to
rest you as like during the PSYCHOTICs,
And the
but
bridge.
well, only the first two ones, and then the bridge.
And oh, fun fact about the song, you see that in the beginning, there's like a laugh.
Oh yes,
It's my laugh.
but that's
That's
her
like my genuine laugh.
Like,
When somebody makes me laugh, like really,
Okay.
really, like boom, I'm laughing.
That's her laugh?
I remember
She
we
laughs
were
like
recording the PSY. Yeah,
okay,
I said it
for
correctly.
the demos.
For the demo, okay? And I remember that it was just so, we were like laughing all the time. It was really hard to keep a straight face because we were trying to do it like as if we were children or something, like cheerleaders or something. And it was just really, really funny. And I remember that at the end of a take, I just like laughed really, really like loudly. And we had that recorded and we're like, Jake, put that on.
Yeah, Jay, like we said, like you have to keep that, and he just kind of modified it so it would go in the beginning, and it sounded so good. At the end, we got
Psychotic.
used to it, so
We
it's
just left
like
it there.
it has to go there.
Oh, I
And-
think PSYC. I think Psychotic has a lot of like our Japanese rock influences, especially in
the bridge.
in the bridge. I remember that in one song, a Japanese rock song, I heard like it was like I don't know if it was. I think it was the beginning, and it starts like with like a riff, let's say, with the like vocals, and it's just like
Yeah, it has like a vocal main part instead of the instrument.
yeah, exactly. But it's not saying anything. And I really wanted to do. It's just like a very big atmosphere, and I wanted to do something like that. And so we started working on that, and I just extremely loved it. It was really, it's really fun. But in live, when you play it live, it's really hard to do because I'm doing like the 16 notes on the. What's
The
it
snare.
called? Yeah, the snare. Thank you. I'm doing the 16 notes on the snare, and I'm just like, okay, keep breathing. That song is very tiring because the verses are really fast. I'm doing eighth notes, but the tempo of the song is really quickly. Oh,
Yes.
we changed tempos on that song.
Yeah,
The
actually,
chorus,
the pre-chorus is it
lowers-
goes down.
Yeah, the tempo goes a little bit down.
It's not very noticeable, but it's true.
But
it's
if,
there.
like you feel the difference
Hey.
because when we were making the demos, it felt really bad if we left it at the same tempo. That's why I remember when we were recording, like from the transition from the pre-chorus to the chorus, I do a build-up, and I struggled a lot, like just to keep
Oh
in time.
yeah, because it
Because
changed.
you could feel the change.
That's why I always
I mean,
right.
it was just uncomfortable.
Yep.
It was but we got used to it now, and it's one of the funnest songs to play. Oh, we were also going to remove the hey.
Of the chorus, yes.
Yeah, of the chorus, and
We didn't like it that much at first, but then we took it out, and it's like
we found ourselves singing it.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
if like you know it's there. Yeah.
And one of the most the things I like most about the song is the bass line. It's just like
Oh yeah, the bass lines were really fun to make.
Yeah.
The bass line of the
I remember that one. Yeah, that was great. Man, it's so cool to hear them talk about the creative, how they, start a thing and, leave the chorus there for 2 years, then, come back to the idea, start working on the verses, changing tempo and bridges and choruses, and it's very interesting, and it really gives you an insight into their creative process, and you can take things away from that. And like now I will always be titling voice notes, for example. But all those little things that, oh yeah, that's a good idea, or that is something to consider. There's always stuff to be learned in these vlogs, or when artists talk about how they conceive a project. Great, man. Great stuff.
Oh yeah, the bass lines were really fun to make. The bass line of
The verses.
it was a line that I had
And the
on
piano?
So when I was like showing it to Ale, it was it's really funny now, but at that time it was just like
Frustrating.
Frustrating.
Cause
We had nothing in the song,
but
but the
the
bass
bass
line.
line.
She was just learning it. I was like, okay.
So it was fa 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 fa.
Even though it's not that anymore.
Oh yeah, we
Timing.
changed the
Is it called accents?
The timing,
no yeah.
No,
I
the
think
thing
it's the
is, the
accents,
line
yeah.
is pretty weird.
It's weird.
But once you get used to it, it's
It's like not on the downbeat. It's like in the up. I don't know if it's called the
Syncopado.
upbeat. And no, it's not. It's
No,
not
no,
the
no, no,
syncopado.
syncopado.
It's just in the
and
E of
Yeah,
like the
and the
uno,
and of
E.
the-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
The E
yeah,
and
yeah.
there we go. We know
we
the
said
terms.
this last
Yeah,
vlog.
I remember that. The 1E and the 2E and
But yes, that's a lot. And story wise, Psychotic is just our main
She's
character
just, like,
is
mocking.
crazy, and she accepts it, and she's just like
She's like
mocking.
mocking
Yeah.
everybody that's like trying to capture her.
let's go.
Yeah, that's basically it. And
Yes.
moving on, the next song is it's Hunter.
Hunter.
Hunter's
Great
my
song.
favorite song. Bam,
Mhm.
bam.
Okay.
Hunter was really different to write, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it started from like a jam session. We were
It started
trying.
with that riff, right? The
Yeah,
bacam.
yeah,
Bacam.
we were doing it. I remember,
Interesting.
I had that riff.
And then I played the
Actually, no, I had that riff, and I started to do a whole other song. I had more parts of that, but you kind of took it all out and left that part.
I remember
And then
that.
yes, I had no lyrics, but I had melody.
Yeah, and I
I
remember
remember.
that I wasn't a big fan of it. So, and we started like working on the song together, the three of us. But we had to do the songs like very quickly because we had to make demos of them very quickly because Jake was about to leave, and we really needed to record the demos. Okay, so it was like a day before Jake came, and we were just like working on the song. And I remember you were on the guitar, I was on the piano, and the chorus came out, and it was the first time ever in history of Paulina Villarreal that I had ever modulated a chorus. Is that how you say modulated?
I think so. It's
Like,
a
change the
modulation of
key?
harmony. Yeah.
Yeah, I changed. Yeah, it's just change of key, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that song was the first song I've ever in my life
Change the key in the middle.
in the middle
the
of the
same song, yeah.
in the same song, exactly. And it was just so exciting that I had done something differently.
Yeah,
And
I get that.
The chorus was really cool, and
I definitely get that. As you go along in a journey, when you're learning a craft, when you're learning to play an instrument, whatever you're doing, there's always new obstacles you come along. You can't learn everything on the first day. So you learn as you go along. And it's always exciting when when you're at a certain point in your comfort zone, and then you cross that threshold again with a new skill, a new thing. And then looking back on your journey, like, wow, remember that? Where I am now, where I was in the beginning, and all these little things that all these little stops that I made on the way, when you're going on a long road and you're stopping at this gas station, you learn something new in this country, or a new drink or a new type of food, and you're going on that journey, and along that you're picking up stuff from every city and country you pass, and you stuff it in your bags, right? And you've learned a lot. And, that's how it is in your musical journey, in your writing journey, just in life in general. That's a beautiful thing there. That's a beautiful thing. I get that feeling. I understand it. That's amazing.
that I had done something differently.
Hmm.
And the chorus was really cool. And so we had like the pre-chorus and the chorus ready. Well, kind of. The chorus wasn't finished lyrically, but so Jake came the next day, and we were like working on the song, and we didn't have one single verse. We didn't have melodies. We didn't
Wow.
have
We
nothing.
had
And we were
nothing.
basically just
What?
building the parts as we went, and I remember that I had like the part of the drums, which is very simple, honestly. So I just had that. It was like the bass, the basse. I don't know if that makes sense in English. The bass, basse. Oh, okay. So basically, you have the bass, and well, they were working on bass guitar and guitar lines, I guess. And I was just giving like the basse. There has to be another word in English after like bass.
Yeah, it's just like the
Yeah.
The
You
bass.
have
The
bass. You have bass. I believe that she's saying BASE, and bass of a guitar BASS, right? It's the same pronunciation but different writing, different meaning. You have the foundation of your song.
The bass. The bass. Okay,
the
so I was
bass
just
structure of the
I was just
song.
like the structure.
the foundation.
And I knew that we had to make it like something quick, just so we could record the song, and that's it. We could have changed it, like we could change it later. So, and I was like, na, 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 and I was like, okay, wait a second, let me record this. And it was just like the first lyric that came to mind. I just wrote it down very quickly on my phone, recorded it, and that was that. And then we started recording, and yeah,
Awesome, yo, that's awesome.
First verse, it was just like really
We did
quickly.
it like that, and we left it like that. Like we really liked it.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
it
wow.
was
We worked
like that.
really quickly. Oh well, but the second verse.
was like a real
Well,
hassle.
We did it in the same day because Jake was leaving.
Jake was about to leave for a really long time. I remember that. So we were in a like very big hurry. So we were working on Hunter, and we had. I had already finished the first verse, but we needed a second verse, right?
And I remember Danny was busy like recording.
You were recording vocals, and
yes.
in between you came like
What a day.
Work on the
room,
lyrics.
and we were like working on the lyrics, and we were just like literally lying on the floor screaming at each other because we couldn't. It was really funny.
Yeah, we were just
It was
like-
not like angry screams, but it was just like
Desperate
no
screaming,
sale
like,
nada
uh-huh,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
screams.
yeah.
So
kind of
we were just
Yeah,
like
it's very
extremely.
Yeah, when you start to talk or scream in your native language, then when you start cursing, like for me too in Dutch, then I talk a lot of English and I think a lot in English, but when you're really there, you go back to your native language and you start, having those kind of thoughts and screams. That's hilarious. What a day. They're a little bit of a deadline or time hurry because, Jake had to leave, but it still came about really organically, that first verse, when you think about it. Even within that constraint, so creativity works in a very weird way sometimes. Sometimes when you have more time, it is actually sometimes bad for your creativity because your subconscious mind really knows, like, I can still do it later. In the back of your mind, while you're not actively thinking that, it is there. But when you're really in that, sometimes you need that little bit of pressure there. It can hurt too, but sometimes it can really help you too. It's a weird thing, creativity.
Nada kind of screams. So we were just like
it's very
extremely
descriptive.
desesperados. How do you say? It's not desperate.
No, it's
We were frustrated.
Frustrated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we're
like in a funny way.
Yeah. It was still very.
Hey,
comical. I
put
don't
that
know
in
why
the song.
we
Put that
thought
in the
it was
song.
like this. Now that I look at it, we were really suffering. We're like, why can't we get anything out?
Yeah.
So
But we did it.
Yeah, in the end, like we only
Nice.
took like
In
it
the
was.
end,
We did it like 5-10 minutes, just like really intensely, just working on that, and then that's how it stayed. The whole song was just like
Wow.
like what you listen to now is basically all that we had in the demo. Literally. Now that
Yes.
when I listen to the demo, of course it's very different, like sound wise.
Yeah.
But the parts are all the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
guys, we
kinda
went to
stuck
the
to that.
studio like really prepared with our demos.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
Hunter was one of the ones that we stayed extremely true to.
Wait. Talk about your snare drum. That we really liked.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you guys remember in the live chats, somebody said something about like the snare in the Sinister Smiles. So, and I remember that I don't know if you guys remember, but I said that my favorite snare drum of the whole album was on a song that wasn't released yet. Well, that song is Hunter. Okay, I just love. It was it was like 18-inch snare. It was huge.
Huge.
I mean,
It
I
didn't
could
even
barely. It barely even fit. fit.
in her legs.
Yeah, I
It's just
couldn't
her
like
legs.
I didn't fit in the drum set.
Sorry.
So I was just, and it had like a really deep sound. And I remember that in parts, you see in the pre-chorus, I do like an army roll kind of thing. It's not really an army roll, but it's just like, it's basically a rudiment. So I wanted like a higher sound for that part because over like in the center of the snare drum, it just sounded like really loose, I guess. I wanted it to sound like tighter. So I just went like to like the outer kind of like layer, like the outer rim, I guess. I don't know how it's called in English. It was just like in the very like end of the snare drum, which
Just
usually,
not in the center.
Yeah, usually in normal snares, it sounds like really pitchy and really but in that one, it sounded like a normal snare. So it was really fun.
Cool.
And in the pre-chorus, I just started going lower. So like while I did the crescendo, so you got like that. I don't know
That's
if
so
I-
interesting.
it
That's
sounded
cool.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, but story-wise, this
Oh, yeah,
song
guys.
is actually really interesting.
Yes, it's one of the few things that I think you haven't guessed yet.
Yeah, it's the only thing
Yes.
that you haven't figured out. It's
Okay, so wait. The picture of the
Okay,
well, no, the picture,
drum
the
roll,
sketch,
please.
The artwork of that song, you see, it's a Grim Reaper. So it is a Grim Reaper talking in this song.
Ah,
basically
okay.
the Grim Reaper.
we
I love
introduce
that.
a new character that's the Grim Reaper that's coming to tell our queen of the murder scene to stop doing its job.
Like back on.
And you know,
Yeah, she's basically killing so much, you know, that Death is saying, like, with the Grim Reaper, hey, wait a second here. There's competition. You're going to put me out of employment here. You're going to put me out of a job. Hey, that's a great concept there, man. I'm looking at my Terry Pratchett books right here. It's a different kind of death there. So funny. And also Sandman, of course. There's a character there too, Death. I always liked that a lot, you know. Yeah, man, that's what I love, man. The writing, man. Okay, come on, let's go.
We introduce a new character that's the Grim Reaper that's coming to tell our queen of the murder scene to stop doing its job.
Yeah, yo, back
You know,
down.
like, yes, stop doing that because that's
I'm coming for you.
and I'm gonna get you for it.
And basically at the end of the song, the Grim Reaper does get
Her.
her.
Yes.
Like, kills her.
So yeah, every
Slash.
every lyric in this song is from the point of view of
the
Death.
Grim Reaper. So that's why in the
awesome.
end, Queen of the murder scene is dying because
Yes.
the Grim Reaper killed her. So the
We
end
don't know how. We don't know.
I mean,
what,
that's yeah. I mean, everybody
is
has
dying.
yeah. Everybody has their own version, but basically, the Grim Reaper killed her, and so the end is basically that song where she's dying. She's just like dying in that song.
those are like her last words, her
Words,
last
basically.
breaths.
Yeah.
Like,
That's always cool because, you know, at the end of life, and I've written scenes like that, you know, you get a type of life review, right? And people talked about this near-death experiences. I was close to one as well as myself, and I know a bit about that, and I've done much research into it. Well, you know, reading into it. And the life review thing is very interesting to me, and it had that feeling. Of course, in a song, you don't have too much time to explore that, but they really nailed it with that ending there. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Great. Oh, pressed the wrong button.
Dying in that song.
those are like her last words,
Words,
her last
basically.
breaths of
Yeah.
life.
And that
Credible.
oh, that song is actually I really like the song.
It
It
started
started
on
on the
the
piano.
piano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I basically have this whole song on the piano from end to beginning, which is
Beautiful
on,
song.
on the piano.
Yeah. We
So-
didn't want to change that actually. It was gonna be just like piano
just
and
gonna
vocals.
be-
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
did many versions which were awful.
Instruments. No, it was
really
really
bad.
bad.
We did like 4 versions of it, and they were all like awful.
Mm-hmm.
And in Soga, when we were recording the song, it was that one song that we actually came up with most of it. And
Yes.
when the bass and the guitar were gonna enter and everything, like it was that one song that we actually had no idea what we were gonna do with.
Yeah, I mean, we had all the parts figured out already, but not like how to incorporate them correct.
Yeah.
Crazy. I love the solo of that song. It's
That
like,
solo is very good. And
Oh yeah,
I sang that
yeah,
song against
that was amazing.
you noticed
Yes.
it, and we were playing it in the Lunario, and it's basically just the final words of the Queen of the Murder Scene, saying that she doesn't regret what she did because I mean she's crazy, but that she wishes that she didn't have to
live
carry
with it.
all of that
Yeah.
while she's dying. Like she doesn't want it anymore.
It's because, you know, in the end, she doesn't regret anything because in her mind, everything she did was still because of love, for love. So, yeah, she's just twisted up inside.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, everybody's the hero in their own story, right?
It's a little bit crazy. And that was the whole point. So basically, that's why I sing the end. The end.
The end.
Dust to dust.
Oh, yeah, dust to
Okay,
dust.
basically,
All right,
dust
all right.
to dust. Nobody actually figured this out. But I don't know if they did. But dust to dust, basically, like the prologue, is it's Queen of the Murder Scene already dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I sing.
Yeah.
You know, like in the last song, I die.
Yeah.
Like
wait,
I
actually,
with my voice.
Actually, we kind of did this unintentionally, but
We figured that was a twist. Oh,
yes, the last phrase of the end, we end with "start again." Like
Start
that's-
again,
we're
right?
Just saying "start again" over and over.
I caught
and
that.
over again. So, like,
I think I
we're
did.
It's like a
and
cycle.
consciously telling you to start listening again from the beginning, like start again.
I love that a lot, you know, because especially in short stories, I've done it a few times where you're leaving breadcrumbs in your writing for people to pick them up on a second read or a third read. You know, that's the fun of it. Like, okay, you almost can't figure it out on the first reading. You know, in a book, I wouldn't really do it because that's really, I do believe the story should stand on its own. And, you know, if you want to reach, you know, the casual audience, you know, you don't want it to be too complicated. There's books out there that do that, you know, and that worked well and that are very famous and popular. But, you know, in short stories, you can play around with that, you know, because it's easier to have a vision of the scope of your story and to not lose track of all the little foreshadowing you do that may not be picked up on a first read. And when you go back a second or a third time, you see, okay, you see this and that and that. He put that in there and he put that in there. That's so interesting. And they did this with that album too. So that's why I'm definitely going to listen to more versions of the songs and just to see what I can pick up now that I know the full scope of the story. And with their info as well, of course, it gives me an extra edge to listen to certain things, of course, which I wouldn't have had if I hadn't watched these vlogs and read some of your comments. But that's so much fun to now go in and look for more clues and pickups and, you know, and the prologue being actually after the fact, which is a great thing to do, you know.
Telling you to start listening again from the beginning, like start again the album. Like the album is a cycle. She dies.
And then
dust
the
to
prologue
dust.
starts because it's
She's dead.
She's dead.
And she's telling
And
you.
like, yeah, and she like basically she's just
cool.
welcoming you to her
Very
story.
cool.
And everything.
And turn in the end, everything just turns back into dust. You see, that was completely unintentional, but it fits.
Hey, it works. That's how things go.
Yeah. Sometimes happy coincidence like that happen, and it's just like.
Or maybe it's the subconscious mind that is operating. Who knows? We don't really know much about that, but I've had that multiple times. I talk to other creative people, writers. They have it too. Sometimes the puzzle fits unintentionally, but it happens too much to be a coincidence. It's almost like the subconscious mind also is working on your puzzle for you. And you're not conscious of doing certain things, not actively, but then, you know, how much of our subconscious is really known and explored. And that's a big part of writing, that subconscious mind is constantly working on solving your problems.
Really cool.
Yes.
And that's why, I mean, Danny, like you see in the end of Dust to Dust and the
Yeah, shouting.
I can't reach those.
Yeah, you were.
So,
You were
but I mean, it's really cool because I mean, it's basically the introduction of like we know the murder scene in the beginning, which Danny starts. So it's like basically like, hey, this is the beginning of the
her
actual story.
Nice.
And boom, the beginning of the beginning.
Kablowie.
It's really cool. I really like
Yes.
that.
You should be. You're proud of it, man. That's
we're super happy with how our album came out.
Yeah, we're really happy, and we're really happy that you guys welcome it with open
Great
arms.
album.
You know, it's not an easy story too.
Yes, As I think we said in the last vlog, or I don't know, that
I think it's in the last
we knew it was a
little bit controversial. I mean, we're
yes,
talking about a killer
different.
but we really liked it, and we know that we're just telling
That's
the
great.
story. We're not really encouraging anybody to do this type of stuff.
Of course not.
So we're really glad.
And I might have said this in another video, but you know, people watch horror movies, they read horror books, they read action movies. But sometimes in songs, we sometimes make this connection, like, yeah, that's what the singer really believes. But like in books and film, we're more far removed from it because maybe the writer is not saying those words. In books, they are really, but like in movies, the writers are not really known, and we have actors, and we have so many different parts that we have that suspension of disbelief. And with a song and an artist, we get them saying their words, but it's a fictional story. It's a fictional story. But I understand the trepidation of going into something like that because some people just don't like violence in fiction anyway. So there's definitely readers that come up to me like, is it violent? Say, if you really don't like too much violence, then, maybe this book isn't for you, or that book isn't for you, or certain things. Hey, people like what they like or don't like what they don't like. That's perfectly fine. And of course, if you're going for a project like this, of course, you're going to have people that don't want to listen to that because they just stay away from that. And that is fine. That's fine.
I mean, we're
Yes,
talking about a killer
different.
But we really liked it, and we know that we're just telling a story. We're not really encouraging anybody to do this type of stuff.
No. Don't do it. Don't do
We're
it.
really glad that you guys liked it.
Yes.
And we're kind of, it's bittersweet. This is our last vlog.
I said that too.
Of like, of
Ooh.
We
like,
ran out of music to
Yeah.
explain.
but I guess that
This
we'll
was
keep
so
you
much
guys
fun.
updated with what's to come.
Yeah. Actually, I've heard. I saw a little bit of your comments that you want to blog on the booklet and the art and how that all came to be. And I think we can do that. We can do that in
that's
another
cool.
blog.
Yeah, so we'll
Good
see
idea,
that
guys.
later. And
Yes.
we'll keep you updated with
More
Lo que
stuff.
viene?
Yes, we're actually preparing
What's
to
to
go to Mexico City again for the
Like-
Heart Inc.
it's like this Thursday, right?
Yeah, it's on Thursday. So yeah, we're about to leave again and play more shows, so we're really excited about that. But yes, guys, we'll keep you updated, and it's also a new month, so
Oh, yeah,
monthly
it's
video chats.
It's December.
Woo! Yes, happy
So-
December, guys.
It'd be like
So
Happy holidays to everybody out there
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
December now. And
So
yeah,
yeah,
guys, we'll keep you updated.
We'll
and
tell you when the date of that will be.
yeah, guys.
And
So
please.
I think this is the end of the vlog. So thank you so much, guys.
This is the end, guys. So long.
Ale, you're supposed to be doing this.
this.
Ale. Bye. Guys. Bye.
That was a lot of fun. Very insightful again. I really, it's very inspiring to hear him talk. It's very motivationally, even for me personally, then to start developing ideas again. But I've talked about this in another video on my own Patreon that, the reason I'm not really publishing it is the promoting of it, at least here in Belgium, you have to do in-person events and to promote your books and to go to bookstores. And those are things that happen at night or in weekends. And that takes a lot of time away from my family, which I'm not really up to doing right now. So I'm writing. I have 3 unpublished books, but I just can't fathom right now or muster up the energy to go through that promotional route and do all those traveling and trips and go around to different book fairs and events. But wow, this was very inspiring. I definitely had a few ideas off of this just for in my own book. And if they would ever do like an animated series or a novel based on this, like the one thing that I would maybe develop more, because in an album you have no time. The ending, not the ending, but before that, Hunter, when you get that Grim Reaper character, it would have to be introduced a little sooner so you can develop that journey as well. That, almost the Grim Reaper gets a hint of this crazy murder queen and, trying to work that into the story, that arc gets developed so it makes sense at the end. They're battling that because in a full story you can't really have a character come in at the end and slash them up, but of course in an album with a certain amount of songs, it's different. They really did a great job of developing the character of the queen and progressing the story not too fast in an album, because it's hard to explain that. That's mind-blowing to me, because when we need a whole book of, at least 60, 70,000 words, maybe even double that to develop characters and storylines, to get that emotional gut punch, to do it in that time frame, in that constricted area, it's really, really impressive. Taking the fact that they were also very young to do it, I can't wrap my head around it. It's incredible what they've done here, what they've accomplished. And that's only the writing. Then you have all the other elements that come: the music, the singing, it's amazing. It's amazing. So thank you to The Warning for creating such an epic masterpiece of an album. I really enjoyed this, combined with the vlogs and sharing this journey with y'all. It was so much fun. It's so inspiring, and I loved it. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Thanks so much for being here, guys. I hope you have a great day. Peace.